If you trust your colors, there could be another future waiting for you, for you. Maybe if you inside you flow. Find a way to the unknown. Yeah, trust yourself and let it go. Oh, oh, there's a time to take it slow. Let the blood inside you flow. Find a way to the unknown. Yeah, trust yourself. Now here we go. Oh, there's a time to take it slow. Let the blood inside you flow. Find a way to the unknown. Yeah, trust yourself and let it go. There we go. Yay. Hey, so I found out that I actually never set up my OC on what I used for reactive on this computer. And I don't have the pics with me to set it up right now. I mean, I guess if I join a call, I could do it that way, but I didn't want just anyone joining because this is a very important stream. Because I always use VTuber Studio, but I'm using my phone, that's my camera, for my VTuber to look over at TikTok. So we're right back to where we started. So that's nice. It's nice. So even in my needing to come to Jesus moment stream, I'm still out of practice. Yeah. I'm gonna turn this down so we don't just... At least so I'm not completely silent. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's not too loud. Yeah, it seems fine. As long as I just keep myself by the mic, I think we'll be good. Hello, people. Hello. People on TikTok, people on YouTube. Okay, actually, I think this is getting too uncanny. One moment. I'm only doing this so this could work. I don't think anyone can actually join this though, so I think I should be okay. There we go. I actually have to join a Discord call for this to work because I don't use it a lot. So I only set it up on reactive, but never on actual Discord. Oh, well, that last reactive is... I like the Tails boom design. So, just a silly hedgehog. So I've always used it, but I always mean it for it to just be on modern Tails. I just like the boom design, so a lot of the... Quite a few of my Tails PNGs has always incorporated the boom design because I really like it. But it's always meant to be modern. Right now, though, I'm speaking as the voice actor. Not the voice behind them. Not actually them today. I need a rant. That's all this is. This is a rant to let everything out, so I don't have to keep dwelling on it, because it's been, as the stream titles, a crazy week. I think that's an understatement. It has been a very crazy week. If you've been on the channel for the last 2 weeks, you can bet it's been it's not good. Okay, there's one thing good that happened, but I can't say it right now because it hasn't. I can't talk about it right now, but it is really good. And then literally like a night or two after that good happened was when everything happened with Naz. And then like 3 fucking days later is when everything happened with Prince. So crazy week. Crazy week. Yeah, nothing like a good rent to calm down the nerves and let out any rage left behind. You know, the thing is that I'm not even angry at this point. I think at this point I'm just disappointed and just numb to it all. And it's kind of like the whole thing with Prince kind of just like unraveled a lot that had already happened. Like it was like a build-up and that was like a final big shutdown. Kind of like last year, if you guys remember that. Where my friend called the police on me, where I was literally sent to the hospital. It was kind of like that, but I wouldn't say that was worse than this year's. This year I've been handling things pretty well. I'm gonna repeat that for a few times. The music fits the vibes. Well, I believe it has been rough. It's definitely been rough. It's the word to say it. But, I don't know. I don't know how we got here. I think at this point... Oh, did you miss that? Well, last year there was a community post. After the Dead by Daylight stream. Thank you for the follow, Classic Sonic. You're still hurting? Yeah, no, yeah, well, okay, I don't want to dwell on it because it's pretty much been fixed. And it's been done and over, but oh my gosh, last summer, there was a lot of quarrels between a lot of us, from different channels and stuff, and within our own groups. And I just had a mental breakdown after a Dead by Daylight stream. That led to Prince and his they were dating at the time, but they're no longer dating, but ex Lilith, who played his Rouge at the time, to not talk to me for like 3 months. And actually Lilith and I actually hadn't talked at all until very recently, and it led to me being away from the Speeds team for like a month. It was a lot of shit. A lot of dumb, petty drama shit. But the main point is that after that Dead by Daylight stream, like 2 hours later, after a bunch of fighting and yelling, Storywolf called the cops on me. Because I had a mental breakdown and she wanted them to make sure I was okay. That's the bulk of it. That's the spark notes of it, because there was a lot. But again, it's not... It's done and over with. It's been fixed. But... the problem is that the mental breakdown was caused by a bunch of little things leading up to it. And that's kind of what happened here, was that a little thing just biled up to the last video where I said that I didn't know if I was going to come back. And in all honesty, I feel like I've said that before in the channel, and I hate when people do that, where they say they're going to constantly do something and then they don't do it, because it makes them feel like very attention giddy. Which is why I try to stop doing that. But I can safely say, out of all the times, I feel like this was the one time people probably actually thought that I was actually serious. That I was actually gonna leave. And to be fair, I really thought this was going to be the time that I left. And as cringy and as corny as it may sound, the only reason that kind of saved everything was Tamagotchi Life. Because Speed ended up streaming it, and I joined the stream for the hell of it, and had so much of a good time on that stream. It reminded me why I loved doing it so much. That was probably the big thing that made me want to stay, was joining that stream. So, I'm just gonna be honest. Tamagotchi Life, living the dream, man. It cures depression. But no, it just was... Yeah, hello, Silver, Oliver on TikTok. Yeah, I think we all have been, I've been as well too broken. I think we've all been in that space. You gotta love Tamagotchi Life. An honest, fun game for what it is. I love Tamagotchi Life. I love Tamagotchi Life. I just can't play it when I'm not streaming. So, I have to wait till, I stream it again. Praise the Tamagotchi. Praise Tamagotchi. That's fun. That's funny. But the thing is that when it came to the whole thing with Prince was because, and it was funny because I had, which again, I don't know why he was so fucking stupid. Because I literally had this talk with him and Speed like 2-3 months ago. So there was this, it's funny because I featured this guy on my actual channel and TikTok. If you guys remember the TikTok of me at Expo and I'm being face to face with 2 Starlines, one female, one male. So the male Starline, that one cosplayer, he and I actually talked. He found my TikTok and we started talking again over on Discord. And this was during the time where Prince stopped talking to me. So during that time, I actually had considered this Starline that VA that I met at Expo to replace Prince. And he was always busy, so it never really came to fruition. And in hindsight, thankfully for the better, because literally 3 months ago, we found out he could not literally be trusted because he was a pathological liar that we never knew his freaking age. And it literally was to this point where I was originally told from him he was 19. Then we had footage of other people saying that he was some kind of predator because he dated a 13-year-old, but then they took it back because they found out he was like 14, 15 years old. But then I heard from someone else he was like 19, 20 years old. And then we actually had a Loki flat out ask him, I forgot what bullshit reason he gave him, but he was just like, I need to know your age or something like that. And he said, oh, I'm 19. And then literally the next day, Hypnos is like, I found the proof that he's 15. And we're just all like, okay, how old is this guy? Because he's either an adult lying to minors to date minors, or a minor lying to adults to date adults. What is he? So we all cut ties with him. And I literally talked to Prince about this. About this whole freaking ordeal with him. Because at that point, Starline had also Prince came back for the role of Starline after things patched up between us. And it was just like, because that happened with that other Starline cosplayer, I told him and Speed about how I had literally at that point a freaking year. Also, thank you for the follow over on TikTok. That's really confusing, but at the same time, it makes sense. Yeah, I know. But because of what happened with the other cosplayer, Starlight, I talked to Prince and Speed, and I told them how within, at that point, a year alone, I had to deal with like 4 or 5 predators from this freaking fandom. He was one of them. There was someone else on Speed's team that's no longer around because we found out some stuff he was doing that wasn't okay. It's no one that none of you guys know. He was pretty small in his own bubble. Then there was my ex-boyfriend. Then there was Mint Midori. So much. So freaking much. And so it was almost as if like every case was getting closer and closer to me. Started with someone I looked up to as a creator. Then it was someone I had actually spoken to and met. But in all honesty, I never really liked Mint Midori. Then it turned into someone I had actually met IRL and was briefly friends with. Then it was, in this case, with Naz. Now, Naz, again, didn't do anything sexually, but it was still creepy. So that's why I cut ties with Naz. And then it became my best friend with Prince. And I literally 3 months ago had talked to Prince and Speed about how it's never ending. There's always someone being exposed now. There's always someone coming out as being not who they say they are, or a flat out criminal. And then for me to tell Prince that, and then not even 3 months later, this comes out. I think it's like shit like that just baffles me. It's shit like that baffles me. It's that you were literally fucking there. You literally saw what happened. You literally know what happens when you get caught, and you still fucking do it. That's the part that astounds me. Because Prince was on the team when Mint Midori got exposed. And he saw in real time how quickly she lost everything. How do you not think, hey, maybe I shouldn't be stupid? As well as kind of confusing how people are, as they rather not reveal the age, how old they are. While I even saw Naz, how does he look like as he did show himself? Well, I actually never, I think I saw his face once, I believe. I know he has darker skin. The problem is, that he was pretty distant with people. You only got as close as he allowed you to be. And if I am being honest, most of my interactions with Naz was through messages than VC, because he never really liked joining VC. But you can go on my channel and my TikTok and you can see all the freaking art I used from him, because I generally did love his art. I did. I definitely question why people are like this in all of these fandom communities. Because it's probably because it's a cope thing. That's probably what it is that they're lonely, so they try to find groups or validation or a community, but then they just look in the wrong way. Well, I saw it 2 or 3 times, you right? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna paint myself as I was besties with Naz or anything. Like I said, a lot of our talks were business, but I still generally believed in him, and we still had a lot of good talks and conversations about things. You know, and clearly, like I said, the art that I had on my channel the last 8 months should speak for itself of how much I truly did believe in him. So it does suck that, to let all of that go. But again, it's just like, I can't support that. That's kind of the thing. And that's why like all sucks. That's like at the end of the day, all of this sucks. Is not so much of the cutting ties and the initial shock. It's looking back and letting go. And you just remember what you thought in those early moments when you didn't know that person. Then you think about all the moments you had in between and all the good times when you were oblivious and you had no idea what was going on. And you almost want to cling to it and find some justification to keep it going, to not let go of it. But when you do something so heinous, you can't. You can't. You know, some things, there aren't no redemptions. And even if you can forgive yourself and find a way to redeem something for yourself. That doesn't change what you did, and it doesn't change what you lost, and it doesn't mean you can get it back. And in cases like this, what Prince did, there is no chances. There isn't. There can't be. There can't be. Even if you want to, it's such a bad package to have on you. You will never be able to trust them. You will never be able to fully believe that they can truly change. Like, something actually funny enough, last year my brother told me something about forgiveness. He says that he thinks when it comes to forgiveness that people truly don't know what forgiveness means. That forgiveness isn't just like a forgive or forget, it's a forgiveness of truly believing one has changed. And he gave me an example. He said that if you forgive a bank robber for robbing you, or a thief from taking something from you, if you truly forgive them, you will trust that you can leave your money out in the open because you truly forgive them and believe that they won't do it again. And if you know that you can't do that, then you can't forgive them because you can't fully trust them. I'll leave that up to you guys if you believe in that sentiment, but that was essentially what he said to me. That's very good advice. That's from my brother. Because forgiveness has been an interesting topic in our life. Because my brother has full out said, I will never forgive our adopted mom for ruining our childhood, his childhood. And that philosophy that I just said is why he probably thinks that way. Because people say forgiveness is a powerful thing. I've always believed forgiveness is something you can give despite not deserving. That's the point of forgiveness. But I don't think it's you're strong for forgiving. I think it's just you're forgiving for a moral reason. A moral code for yourself. If it brings you peace, that's fine. But I'm not going to say you're strong for doing it. It's like a default of human nature. You know, we have developed as society to have forgiveness as the expected thing. You're supposed to say, I'm sorry, and the person in response is supposed to say, I forgive you. That's kind of like what we built society to do. I don't think forgiveness is powerful. I just think forgiveness is the norm. But I don't think you're bad for forgiving. I just don't think people should be shamed for not forgiving. I guess that's kind of the consensus here. Because to fully forgive someone is to fully believe they won't do it again. And in this case, for example, as much as I hate saying it, when it came to Prince, and even my ex-boyfriend, I can't say I forgive them because I truly don't know. Especially in my case with my ex-boyfriend. I can't believe that they would never do it again. And that's what, for me, deciphers if I can forgive you or not. Oh yeah, I believe what your brother is saying. It's very good advice, but sometimes it's hard to forgive. But that's the thing, though. I don't think forgiveness should be expected. That's why I don't think forgiveness is powerful. You're not strong for forgiving, and you're not weak for not forgiving. You are just doing a default in your moral codes. Because to a person, how powerful forgiveness is based on your own beliefs and moral. For Christians, forgiveness is a strong thing because that's what Jesus did. That's what God did. God forgave people for torturing his son. And so for Christians, you have to, forgiveness is a powerful thing. But for someone maybe like an atheist, they don't have that moral compass of a religion or a God. So they have no expectations nor standards to whether they believe or not. They just have the second more human nature of morality. So for them, forgiveness means shit because who are you forgiving for? God isn't real. So forgiveness means shit if I don't believe that you deserve to be forgiven. That's kind of the whole thing. So that's kind of where I think my brothers and I's form of forgiveness is at. So when it comes to crazy ass situations like this, it's like the defining feat of where I stand in all of it. And it's hard because you want to. You want to, not because you think they deserve it. It's because you want to go back. You want to go back to before you knew the truth. You want to go back to when things were perfect in your own little head. And you want to go back to those good times. Ain't that the truth, honestly? Yeah. And I think that's kind of the thing. Is that even if I wanted to forgive Prince, I wouldn't be forgiving Prince because I truly forgave Prince. I would be forgiving Prince because I want to believe I can go back to the night before during Cass's stream where I'm telling him to fuck off on VR chat, giggling and laughing my ass off alongside with him. Calling him my bestie. Watching him and Flea flirt with each other. And him flaunting around like he owned just everything. That's what I would be forgiving him for. Because I want to go back to that night. 12 hours before I learned the truth about everything. So, it would be dishonest on myself to say I forgive. Because I wouldn't even be doing it for the right reason. And I think that's why I don't think forgiveness is powerful. Because it's almost, in some ways, you forgive for selfish reasons. For your own religion, your own belief, your own moral compass, to be the bigger, better person. But it's just like, I'm not the bigger, better person. I'm not a better person for not being a pedophile. That's just the norm. That's the default. It should be the default of a human to not be a fucking criminal. You know? Like, for God's sake. And it just sucks. It really fucking sucks. Oh, I know you. The Tangle the Lemur on the... I know you. Yeah. Hello. What's going on? I'm ranting about everything that's happened. But no. I'm just fucking lost, man. This whole fucking thing. It's just so stupid. It's so stupid because... And again, it's just the flabbergast. It's just flabbergasting that he saw it. Like he saw. Oh yes, my back to the kitchen technique I haven't used since the here. I don't know. For me, it's just, I think that's what made me considered, like, for being real, saying to leave, because I really don't want to go through that again. To get so close to someone, lay out so much shit. And that's just like another thing too, is that I told Prince so much about my childhood, so much of that the shit that happened to me. So he heard me as a survivor of this shit tell him these things, and he still fucking does it. Like, not at any point he had a moment to think back to anything I've said to him and realize what he was doing. Thank you for the rose. Prince Flamer. Go to my last video. I add him. And you know, that's another bullshit thing, is that he actually did make a confession video on his TikTok and then literally deleted it like a day after. Like 2 days after. So I feel like that tells me, like, everything else that I feel like I should know. Because, like, why would you do that? You make a confession and then you fucking delete it? And I think the thing that just hurts is that I was really close with Prince. I was really close to him. And, it just kind of feels like this whole week, just not talking to him, not looking at it, this stuff, not going back to the, you know, like, it, not, like, trying to get him on stream or anything, you know, it's weird. It's like I'm adjusting to another normal, a new normal, and I don't like the normal because it's not with him. And then I don't know. Oh, the legacy Amy. Is that you, Cass? Yeah, we were having a good time the night before VR chat on stream, and for all to happen the next morning after was something even I wasn't expecting to happen. And I think that's like the worst of it. It was after such a good night. It was such a good night. And actually this the stream had ended, but I had we all I believe we actually took a photo. Yeah, it's me, Cass. Okay, hello, Cass. I believe we took a photo or something, but my headset was about to die, so I was hugging everyone goodnight and everything, and Starling had actually went AFK, and my headset was dying so quickly. Usually I would actually be the one to stay until the person came back, but because my headset was dying, I actually said, oh, tell him I said goodnight, let my bestie know I said goodnight to him, and then I left. And then, like, maybe 10 hours later is when we found out about everything. And it was such a shitty way too, because it was Mother's Day. I was sleeping so heavily, and then I wake up, and then there's Hypnos, who actually had gotten up hours before me. And so she and her aunt had actually cooked breakfast. So she actually just gave me breakfast in bed. There was eggs, there was like plant-based bacon, toast and stuff, and we were talking about what we were going to do that day, because I planned on streaming Tamagotchi Life. And because I was off, and she was off that day. And we don't get many days where we're both off at the same time. I work part-time, she works full-time, so it is hard to find those days where we both get off. And so we were going to play Tamagotchi Life, you know, we were going to go on a walk. It was a bright, beautiful day, you know. I got breakfast in bed. It was so nice. It was beautiful. She gave me fresh strawberries. It was so beautiful. It was Mother's Day, and I was being treated, and I'm not even a mom. And it was such a beautiful day. And then she's sitting back on her Switch, and I'm just watching TV. I had just finished eating, and then I get a message from Speed. And, plant-based bacon, nice. Oh yeah, for those who don't know, I'm actually vegetarian. So yeah, I'm vegetarian. And so I get a message from Speed, and because Speed is actually 3 hours before, so we're like noon now. So it's like maybe 9-10 on his end, and he doesn't really message me that early at 10 in the morning. And so I got a message from him, and that's when I saw the screenshots and everything. And then I just lift up and I just started crying. And then Hypnos puts down her switch and she leans forward to me and she's like, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's going on? What's happening? Like, what happened? Because it's just like one moment everything was fine and normal and then it just crashed. And so I just start crying. And then she was just like, what's going on? And I couldn't speak. So I just grabbed my phone and I just showed it to her face. She grabs it and her mouth like drops open. And she's like, call him. Fucking call him. No, call him right now. Like, no, he fucking call him. So I call him on Discord. He doesn't pick up. And this to give the indication of how close Hypnos and I were to Prince was that she actually has his actual phone number. Like, his actual personal phone number. So when he didn't pick up on Discord, she just called him. And so he picks up. And then he's crying. Because the first thing I say, I'm like, really? Really? And he just says, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. He's crying. His voice is shaking. And he's just saying, I'm sorry. I'm like, 16! Fucking 16! You tell them to fuck off and move on. Why was that so hard to do? And he says, I'm sorry. I really couldn't tell you. I'm sorry. I'm like, why? We're really late. And then he hung up. Like, he says, I'm sorry a couple more times. And then he hung up. And I'm just a wreck. And I actually get up. And it's starting to rain outside. That's the thing. It was like so sunny. And then the second shit happens, it was sprinkling. You can't even fucking make that shit up. And so I grabbed my jacket and I actually run outside. And her aunt was outside. I think they went to the store to pick up something or something like that. So she walks out of the car because they used my car. And she's just like, what's wrong? What's wrong? And I give her like a brief explanation. And she's just kind of like trying to understand what's going on before she goes inside. And I just am crying outside while it's starting to sprinkle and rain a little bit harder. It didn't full-on rain, but it started raining. And incidentally started when all shit came loose. And so I came back inside, we all got in a Discord call, and it's just a bunch of crying, a bunch of, like, stunness. Like, Speedy didn't even say a lot for, like, the first 2 hours because it was just stunned. And quickly everything fell apart. It was definitely not a good day, and most of the first 2 days after that was just me laying down. Just, numbed. Numbed. So, yeah, not a good day, needless to say. Dang, even the heavens knew things was bad in alcohol. Irony. It was just irony. There's actually a few ironies that I've been processing this week. Again, I think that's the worst part, is just the irony of when you look back at so many things. Like, I mean, you guys saw on stream, Starline had, Prince, he had a very raunchy humor. Prince could flirt, and he flirted in a very specific way. And again, in hindsight, I probably should not have let it slide. But I did, because he was my friend. You guys liked it. And so I let it slide. And, it is just kind of that irony when you look back at it all, where there weren't a ton of signs, but things do make a little bit more sense now. Because Prince was I hate to use this character. And I used it when talking to Hypnos about it. But the comparison is so damn good, I'm going to use it. If you ever seen My Little Pony, Trixie Luamoon. She was a character she was a magician. But regardless if she was on stage performing or hanging out with her friends, everything was always a show. She always had an act on. Everything was played as if it was a TV show in real time. And so, because of that, the few moments that were genuine, where she turned off the persona, those moments meant so much. Oh, hello, actually, yeah, I've been seeing you over there, Hypnos. She's on TikTok. Nights is watching in Sun's Comfort. I will say hi to both of you guys. Hi to both of you. Dang, not the great and powerful truth. I'm just saying the comparison is there. Is that everything was always a show for her. So when she got genuinely excited, genuinely upset, genuinely angry, those moments meant a lot. Because you knew she wasn't pretending or doing the act anymore. But the reason why she did the act was because she was lonely. Because she hated herself so much, she had to put on an act of a version that she loved. Obviously, that's an arc she goes through the show where she gets better at it. But that's like the whole core point of her character. She acted like the great and powerful Trixie because she didn't feel great and powerful. And that was something that I can say was a lot with Prince. He put himself in that show. Everything was always a show. Everything was always an act. Everything was always, I'm the center of of attention. And every stream he was in, he could put himself in the center and everyone will focus on him. He had that charisma. But behind the scenes, he was probably lonely. He said he was lonely. His dating life freaking sucked. It sucked ass. Because that charisma he put on stream, he could not do in real life. And I won't go into specifics. But that did play a key part in why me and him didn't talk for like 3 months. And why it wasn't until recently Lilith and I started talking. It's probably the biggest fucking red flag right there. And it's also interesting. I don't know. That, like I said, that is definitely the biggest irony in everything that had happened. It's just that show. Like, he was so good at faking a version of himself that he did it to his own friends for so long. And maybe he didn't even realize it. I mean, and it's also just one of those rare instances, like, you captured the moment Prince and I met. Like, it's the stream, like, Speed's stream, it's still up. You can see when him and I met. You can see, you hear me say, let me send you a friend request. And then Prince is literally, oh yes, I can invite you to, you know, oh my gosh, I have friends. I made a friend. Also, I won't lie, it's kind of hard listening to anything of Epic the Musical right now because he's the reason why I discovered it exists, because he sang Wouldn't You Like? And he did such a good job. Everyone was just like, oh! And even in that moment when I watched him on stage, I was just like, oh, he good. He good. He's gonna make a great star line. That aged like sour milk. And so, I'm thinking back to that night. But so, you know, he was really good. He was really good. You know, you actually captured the moment when I asked him to be a part of my team. You actually hear that on that same stream too. And the next big irony. Okay, I'm gonna pray that Speed is okay with me saying a little small behind the scene banter because it wasn't that big of a deal in hindsight. But I'm only going to share it because, again, irony speaks. And so actually the thing about that night was, I believe Prince, because I know Prince and Speed met on TikTok, because there was like this TikToker at the time that like got exposed to ironically, being a predator. So a lot of like Sonic TikTokers like rallied up to get him off the platform because he wanted to come back. And I think it was like somewhere in that moment where those two met. And Speed had asked him if he had VR chat and he wanted to join the stream. And this was like Speed's way of trying to see, like an audition, you can say, like a live little bit of an audition to see how he fit. And none of us knew that because he didn't tell us. So I had just assumed Starline was like a TikTok friend of Speed. So while Speed is doing this live audition with this guy, I asked him to join another team while he's auditioning to go on his team. Total miscommunication. It's I thought it was funny. But the irony was that the next day, Speed had actually messaged me, and he was like, I'm not gonna lie, the way you did that kind of annoyed me. You know, he said, I've had people that used me for like that kind of stuff that kind of bugged me. And I was like, I had no idea that you were trying to get him on the team. You didn't tell me. And then he was like, well, you shouldn't actually do that regardless. You shouldn't invite people on your team like that. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you don't just meet someone and then like a couple hours later, just put them on your team. You should probably have them do an audition, try to learn about them and stuff like that. And I was like, I usually don't do that though. I just had a good vibe with this guy. We clicked so well, you know, a good vibes, which again, funny in hindsight, that's actually bullshit. I'm pretty sure only 3 people had actually properly auditioned to be on this team. Everyone else was from Good Vibes, so that was a fucking lie. But in hindsight, he was right, because he's just like, you don't invite people just after a couple hours of meeting on Good Vibes. And the irony is kind of staggering now, because it's like, oh. And there were some people trying to paint him as a dickhead for telling me that, but it's kind of like, there's a, yeah, I see it now, Speed. I see what you mean now, Speed. I told them this already, so it's kind of like a hindsight thing. It's like, oh, well, fuck my ass now. It's why a lot of teams, like you would see, like with Speedy Blue, or like especially with Emmy and Kazma, they're like very strict with who they let in. Very strict. And it's because of shit like this. Which I think it's been the biggest wake-up call, is how I've let people join the team has been very loosey-goosey. I never took it seriously because this is supposed to be a hobby. If it turns into a career one day, cool. Oh, just like the moth to the lean to the light, he comes into the chat. Hello, Speed. It's... I don't know. The way I've let people on the team has been loosey-goosey. Like, very loosey. And it came to a point where I feel like some people had took advantage of that. I'm not going to say names, but some of you guys might be able to pick up. There was one girl that did... She was never on the team, but she was on a few streams, kind of like as a +1, because they were friends with someone else. And then that turned very toxic. I wasn't talking bad about you. I was just talking about how Prince joined the stream, and you're like, you shouldn't invite people on your team based off of Good Vibes. And you were right. You were fucking right. TLOL, JK. But no, like there was this girl who came in through a friend, and then it got very toxic. So they ended up leaving the server altogether. And to be honest, I kind of wonder if they were just trying to take advantage of their friend. I think they actually were dating, actually. Partners, they're whatever, to try to get on the channel. I think people did because, in all honesty, my team isn't big. My team isn't big. I maybe have like 10 officials and maybe like another set of 5-10 random guests and like friends. When it comes to like my actual team, it's maybe like 10 people. However, a lot of them didn't actually join the way, the professional way. Story was just brought on by proxy because she was friends with me. Same thing with Trigger, was just by proxy because I just liked Shadow. I needed a Shadow, and he asked. Mud actually was originally a backup Sonic, but then when the original Sonic and I cut ties, Mud became the full-time. And that original Sonic VA had actually reached out to me on Discord, and then we talked before I actually gave him like an audition hearing before he brought on some of his friends, which one of them was Storywolf, which is how I would meet her and all was said and done. So even then, like, even from the get-go, I didn't do things properly even when I should have. And then, and maybe some people will be like, well, how could you possibly know that these people would be like that? Well, that's what background checks are for. That's why you have an audition. That's why you have a vibe check. Because I didn't do any of that. I didn't. I was pretty loose with how people join the team. So much to the fact that the joke when it came to Sim was that I didn't even ask him. He just popped into stream, and it's Siminotaur. I'm not going to say fucking no to Sim. And it's Riella. So the way to join was never really the greatest. Because that was the thing too, is that, because Mud was originally backup, he became full. Loki was one of the few people that actually had auditioned to be on the team. And it was more like a live audition. He didn't send in recordings or anything. We just asked him to join the server, and we were all in a call with a few of us, and we listened to him do different voices and stuff, and that's how he got on the team. And then we did a stream with him, and everyone loved it, and that's like how, unironically, without it being VR chat, what Speed did to Prince is kind of what we did with Loki to join the stream. And thankfully, things have mostly worked out with Loki. Cause yeah, Whispering had joined through an audition. Superstar joined through an audition, but her story was that story is funny, because they did an audition, but I didn't actually watch the audition until Speed watched the audition. And then I finally got to the audition, and that's how, so they got into 2 teams in the same hour. Yeah, like even, oh, that's another thing too. Hypnos joined through Prince. And Hypnos and I met because of fucking Prince. Yeah, well, that's the thing. I didn't ask Sim, I didn't tell Sim I was streaming that. I thought I was not good enough for that, and he did that on his own, and I was so happy about that. Nakia asked to be Cream. Knights, again, just joined out of proxy of being friends with me. That's the thing, there's just no auditions, and that has clearly not been working out. Because even if all the people we had cut ties with or stepped away or anything wasn't due to the pedophilicness, it was because of toxic. I understand totally. I only joined a stream if they are cool with me joining, and I'm only in like 2 crew to speak. Well, that's the thing though. It's like I did not handle the way people join the team very well. Not at all. And we've had a lot of problems and run-ins with a lot of people causing problems behind the scenes because of the way I handled it. Even like with Naz, I just really liked their work and just was so quick to jump and letting them do stuff for me. And so it really becomes Nikia. I know I pronounced the... Yeah, I mean her. That's who I'm talking about. Hello, Hypnos again. Have fun at work. But no. Oh yeah, Hypnos is at work right now. No one's at the house. No one's in the apartment right now, which is why I'm doing this. It's just a lot of, that's definitely the biggest change, is I'm gonna be more strict on how I let people in now. Very strict. As for, and that's like another thing too, is that I had a storyline with Starline's character that I don't even know what to do with. And I think that's kind of the thing, is that I don't know what to do. Because, like, some people had offered replacements and stuff, and it's just like, I can't replace that. I can't replace Prince's Starline. Because what made it unique was because of Prince, and what made Tangle and Starline work so well was because of him and I. Like, I can't replicate that. I can't redo that. Comic dubs? Sure. Like, but on streams, though, I don't know. You really can't. And even if I found a replacement, it would never be the same. And you guys would feel that. Because that was always the thing about Prince and I, is that when we were Tangle and Starline, it was just genuineness. Like, he was, for, like, Speed, my Skull's. Hello, Mighty. Hello, Peekaboo. You know, he was like my second half. Maybe I got too close too fast, but there was just something so special that night we met that I don't know if I could ever let myself do again. Can always go with they got back sent to their old dimension realm story. I thought of that too. The problem is that Starline was supposed to play an important role in it because he was one of the first. I can't explain it without spoiling it. But I don't know, there was a lot playing around with the idea. And I just don't know what to do with it. I don't want to replace it. I don't want to recreate it. But I don't want to, I don't know if I can even do the whole pretend it never happened because of how much he was on the channel. I still say their universe crumbled away. Do the boom sonic BS. You know what's funny though? In a way, that is metaphorically is what happened. Because the second everything came out about, because that thing, I'm pretty sure like when he confessed in his server, I think it was just because Speed told him to. And literally the second he did that, he like posted everything. Literally everything did crumble. That whole server is pretty much gone. Just nuked. Literally just, he had like 140 and within like 10 minutes, it was under 120. I think it was like 117. It was just gone in like 10 minutes. And I think like after an hour, the whole server was just gone. Like this, like Starlight, okay. Prince had apparently 2 partners, 2 flings going on. I don't know. Like I said, his love life sucked ass. And so they were defending him. But other than that, everyone was like gone. Like some of his closest friends that he had known longer for like years were like, you piece of shit, bye. Like I think she was actually over here on TikTok in the beginning. Shadow Lunar. Yeah, on TikTok. Lunar Shadow. Yeah, she's known Starline much longer than I'd have. And just left. Weeb, who was Prince's Silver and Mighty. And funny enough, I believe he actually was briefly on the stream with Cass and Starline. They like I will quote unquote what Weeb said. What the fuck don't use my art, goodbye, and then left. And we've had known Prince for so long. Like, it devastated them. It devastated them. Yeah, me and Seth told him to do it because I felt like he wasn't going to. He just said he was going to tell people close to him. I removed their ass from the server to avoid arguing because I kept trying to argue with people. Yeah, I was in the midst of that. I won't lie. I did say some shit during that I shouldn't have said. Cause his partner was getting on people saying, oh, if you don't want to hear him, you know, the age gap didn't matter, which it fucking does. That you guys, if you guys think let him hear him out, he didn't even really confess. Where's the proof of this and that, even though the screenshots are right there in front of my face. And then was like, actually, they actually started making it personal, being like, oh, you're so lucky you have hypnos and you're just leeching out for them. Otherwise, you would be homeless on the streets or stuff because you have to rely on people to, you know, to not be homeless. And then I was just like, well, I see now why you defend pedophiles, because that's all you're able to get. And then immediately I called him a retard because he called me, because I called him dumb, and he says, oh, wow, using insults, how promising. I'm like, oh, you're right. I should have not said dumb. I should have said you're retarded. And I think that's when staff was like, all right, everyone, stop. And I mean, I shouldn't have. Personally, I don't care about the word, but I know other people do. I know Speed really hates the word. I was just really fucking pissed, and I hated how he brought Hypnos into it. Like, you want to talk shit about me, fine, but don't bring my girlfriend into it. Like, we were all hurt in here. Yeah, there he is, like, getting on me. I probably should stop saying it out loud. I just don't, I never really took offense to the word. But I know I shouldn't openly say it. It's actually the one blunt thing Speed and I disagree with. Because we're both pretty blunt, but that's his line, is the R word. And for me, I'm just like, what are you, I'm like, huh, did you say something? And I'm like 13 feet away from it. And Speed's just disappointed at me on the other side, being like, really? Really? So, that's kind of funny. Bruh. Yes, I know, I'm disappointing. I'm very disappointing. But that's actually when the server pretty much got the peak of it. To be honest, I'm bringing Hypnos into it proves they were just kind of weak to begin with. No, that's what I don't like. Yeah, that's the thing, It's like Sneeko shit right there. Weren't worth the time. And that was the thing. The problem with me is that I have a habit of jumping into arguments that aren't worth the time. And, okay, maybe that one was slightly different because it's literally was a crime. But, I should not have retaliated the way I did. And that was basically when Saffron and then Speed stepped in and they're like, okay, we're just gonna nuke the server. And we're gonna just, you know, because nothing is being solved here. And to be fair, it wasn't. It was just everyone fighting for the sake of it. And then after that, when the server just kind of nuked, I was actually the last one in the server. Because Speed couldn't kick me out because we were on the same mod role. And I didn't even realize I was still in the server until Prince was like, hey, Tangle, why are you still here? And then I left. And so then we were all in just Speed's private server, just kind of sinking in the moment. Because, like, again, we've had issues in the past with people. We had, again, like, earlier, like, there was that VA that got kicked last year, but no one really knew him to begin with. But with Prince, it was different, because he was close with a lot of us. Joining friendships that started people going on his stuff, him going to their stuff. And for me, it was just he became such a big voice on the channel and a very popular, like, he quickly became a fan favorite. A lot of swearing, ranting, yelling. Yeah, emotions were high that day, which is understandable. And understandable why people were arguing. Yeah. Oh, his silver showed up for the stream and liked them. Well, he went with the flow of the stream, which was cool. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's just sweet. That was smart. Move on, nuking the server. Yeah. Yeah, no, I do. In hindsight, that was the best option because nothing was going to get solved. And that server just... Yeah, the ranting wasn't a big deal. Just the loudness got to me when I was trying to figure out what to do. No, I mean, yeah, no, that was explainable. I don't fault anyone for being like, hey, stop. Because I know Saffron was just like, and stop. As soon as I said the R word, she was like, okay, just stop. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'm sorry. Like, I backpedaled, and then I just stopped talking until the server got pretty much nuked. It was... But yeah, Prince was just very close. People had crushes on him. People loved hanging out with him. And this wasn't... And that's the thing, though, is that you have some people that... Like, I talked to... Actually, I see... Hello, Growl. I'm doing a rant stream to let everything out before we move on to the next phases. But that's the thing, like, for example, Growl and I, we do talk a little bit outside of, like, the team and stuff, but a lot of our conversations are, like, within streams, or within the server of speed stuff. When it came to Prince, though, I talked to him more times outside of streams than on streams. And he was, like Speed said, I looked at him as a little brother. He was, like, a brother to me. He was, like, like I said, my other half. He was my... And he was, like, he had just attached himself to so many things on the team. Both teams. That, and even his own, that it just hit in a way that I don't think has ever been accomplished before. I've been on YouTube for like 4 years now. I've been doing this role-playing thing for like 2-3 years now, like officially. And I've been through a lot these last 4 years. I've dealt with a lot of drama. I've dealt with a lot of toxic people. I've dealt with just IRL stuff. And I can confidently say that out of every one of them, this was the worst. This was the worst. In terms of YouTube, this was definitely the worst thing that has ever happened on YouTube. For me. Because... Yeah, even out of my ex-boyfriend, I would say Prince was worse. Because I already knew for a long time, even during when I was still doing stuff with my ex, he was a piece of shit. But Prince, I generally believed in the class. Speed! I'm trying to be serious and emotional. I don't need to know about the balls. Go to a doctor. I know why you said that, though. It worked. As a content creator, I've been on YouTube since 2014. Well, my first video I posted was nearly 10 years ago now. But I mean, like, doing YouTube consistently. I did need it a laugh. I did laugh. I just didn't laugh hard. Laugh, damn it. Laugh, damn it. There's depression is not allowed here. God. But no, I think it's also hit hard because we didn't think they were capable of doing such a thing. No, I do think it. It's just, it was so unexpected. We were much smaller. We're much smaller than to do such acts. We're much smaller than to do such actions. I just never... I don't know, maybe there was an in hindsight thing. But... like I said in the beginning of the stream, it's not so much the initial shock that's the hardest. It's looking back. Because I won't lie, the other night, Hypnos and I actually watched back to the first stream he was in. on Speed's channel, the first meetup. And it's just, you're just like, why? Why? You had everything handed to you. Like, was it really worth to lose all of that over a fucking 16-year-old? I just don't get it. You were there for Mint Midori. You saw how quickly her world turned around. You didn't think that that would happen to you? And then you make a shitty apology video on TikTok and then you delete it. Like, are you sorry or are you not? Like, literally, actually, if Prince actually, because I'm pretty sure he still does follow me on TikTok. If you somehow are behind this, are you fucking sorry or are you not? Because you deleted your confession video. So are you trying to make it where you can come back if you think that's even an option still? Like, what the hell, dude? She's back, by the way. Her stuff popped up on my TikTok. I heard she's back. But it ain't gonna do anything. Most people already know what she did. The only people that are gonna watch her stuff are the people that already, like, believed her from the get-go. Or, just want to hate on men. Because you have to believe all women shit. Oh yes, Mint. Wonderful specimen. I've said it once, I said it again. If Gotta Go Fast wasn't there when she was talking shit about Sim, I was gonna chew her fucking ass. Yeah. His crappy creepypasta apology style video. Yeah, he deleted that, so it's just like, are you actually sorry, man? Ugh. Yeah, I ran into her on VR chat, because we were friends on VR chat for a moment. And she just started talking shit to Gotta Go Fast about Sim. Just having, like, a fake mental breakdown. I'm sorry. It's just so hard to talk about him. And when I think about it, I'm not going to say his name, but you just gotta forgive me. It's just really hard. Just when I think about it, it just gives me just... And then I'm just like, you're talking about Sim, aren't you? Yeah, Siminitar. Yeah, I just didn't want to say his name. Oh, that's because the music's loud. I can turn it down. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. That is how she was like. And I'm just like, I want to scream at you. I want to scream at you. Again, the only reason why I didn't was because Gotta Go Fast was there. And I had just met him and Sassy. And I didn't want to, like, make them think that I was an asshole. But it was so hard to just be silent and stare at him comforting her because he's trying to be a good friend. And I'm just like, want to crawl through my quest into hers and slap her and be like, you are the reason why men don't believe us anymore. Don't you know that? Okay, that's the rant for that. She was there for the first meet and greet Speed did, by the way. Oh, I am so sorry. Oh, hello, Knights. Hello. There we go. That's a little bit quieter. Oh, that was a fun day. That was a fun day. And then after all of that, she sends me a friend request, and I'm like, did I give vibes to you that I liked you? I accepted it anyways, because I wanted to see what would happen. I was hoping I would get the chance to scream her out. It didn't happen. Lucky for her. I hate women that do false allegations like that. And it's worse when you turn out to be one of them yourself, because it's just... Ugh! Anyways. Ugh! Ugh! So much shit. Why can't people be normal? Well, you know, that was another thing, too. That now that we're on the train for that fucking mess, is that something that, because when everything happened with Naz, me and Emmy had actually talked about, because I wanted to have a second insight from someone that wasn't like on the team. So I talked to Emmy to be like, hey, is this something that's like, even though it's not sexual, would you be like, yeah, cut ties with this person? And Kazma and Emmy both agreed, yeah, no, this dude's bad news. And then a few days later, what happened with like Starline, I literally just flat out asked Emmy, I'm like, why is this so normal now? Like, why are they getting younger? Because Prince is not even 20. Mint Midori, she's in her 30s now, but when she started this, she was like in her early mid-20s. Skylar Blue was in her early 20s. And Naz is, I'm pretty sure, is 20. Like, why are all these people, like, why are they so young now? Like, is it, like, is it because of the internet? Is it because we just catch them early on now? Like, that was like a genuine question that I have, is why is it so young now? Like, why are these people so young now? I don't know. I don't know. And I think that's why, because some people were like, well, Starline was 19, she was 16, it's only a 3-year age gap. For starters, if an age gap is the only defense you have, I think there's other issues in line with the defense. But here's the thing, though. What is to stop that age gap from 10 years from now? In 10 years, when he's 29, and if he does the same shit again. Clearly, it started young. Like, listen, like, if, okay, it's a big asterisk, but if you look at, like, a lot of serial killers and stuff, a lot of the tendencies they did in their later years started in the young years. Would that excuse have worked then? Clearly, this was a start. It's almost as if you just catch them early on before it gets worse. And again, it goes back to the same thing. How do you know they won't do this again? What happens in, like, 3 years from now? When he's 22 and he does it to a 17-year-old. Like, we're not in the age of the 20s where we're all dying by 30, so you have to have sex and have 3 kids and a full job and a house by 23, you know? We're beyond that time now, you know? We're not in the Greeks era where girls have to get married at 15 because you already know they're most likely going to die at childbirth by 17. You know, we're in 2026. We have laws now. You know, you just can't do that anymore. It's just so freaking unfortunate. But I guess I just never thought it would hit my channel like that. I think it's like one of those things, like, you just don't think it will happen to you. Because I generally didn't think of it. Because I've had toxic people on the team. Like I said, the original Sonic VA. Me and him cut ties because he was very toxic, not just to me, but to other people on the team. 2 VAs, the original Classic Tales. If you ever want to know what happened to Cosmic in the original Classic Tale, they left because of him. Yeah, I'm going to spell that shit out right now. Yeah, if you guys ever wonder, if you guys were here from the beginning and wonder what happened to them, yeah, they left because of him. And then we had other toxic people that ended up getting caught. And then it's the same shit with Naz and now Prince. And so it's like, I have to, like, be way more strict on how I do things. Because I just can't keep having this shit happen. I guess it was just a matter of time before something like that slipped through the cracks. It just unfortunately had to be someone really close to me. And also hurt because, like, it was more caught on YouTube than, not YouTube. It was more on TikTok than anything. But last month, I released a small little short of Prince and I's, because it was like our 1-year friend anniversary. And I said in the post, happy 1-year friend anniversary at Dr. Starline. It hasn't been perfect, but it's been amazing. Thank you for being an amazing friend and making my content better. Here is to many more years. And then a year, here we are a month later. And also when you think back to how much they contribute, Hypnos and I, you know, the girl I'm living with? Yeah, I met because of him. Epic the Musical, I found out it existed because of him. That's an letting that sink. And I think the biggest thing was something that was supposed to happen in the summer. So when, if you guys, I mean, I'm pretty sure most of you guys have seen something of Prince's content, is that Prince is a huge Undertale and Deltarune fan. He loves those games so much. I know those games, and I know Undertale is a great game. I've never played the game, though. I never played it because of my ex-boyfriend. My ex-boyfriend had ruined Undertales for me, as well as Minecraft. It actually took me 3 years to finally play that game again, and I pretty much only started playing that game again because of speed. Because I played it on his channel. And that was like after 3 years of like not touching the game. With Undertale, I've never played it. And Prince had tried so hard to get me to play it for like 9 months, 10 months. And he was telling me it would be a therapeutic thing to finally let go of the last thing my ex had on me, was enjoyment of something. And I was going to play it next month with him. I was actually going to tell him all versions of Minecraft. I didn't play, like, maybe I play like Bedrock here and there on my phone or something, but I never, but for like, yeah, I don't know. I didn't touch Minecraft for a long time because of him. But next month, I was going to play Undertale with him to finally let go of that last missing piece. Funny, huh? The sad, sad reality. So, obviously that's not gonna happen now. But, yeah, I don't know. Funny. I don't know. Just kind of letting everything sink in. Thanks for the follow. I think the thing about Prince is that it's just an impact that just isn't going to go away. It will never fully go away. I'm never going to be able to cling myself to someone the way I did with him. I'm never going to be able to allow myself to let someone on because of him. And there is a sense of trust that I'm never going to be able to get back because of him. So the sad reality is just that there is just a damage. The one ruined it for all that Prince have had on the channel. For as long as I do this. I guess it will probably be called the Summer of Randomize. Yeah, but no. I was going to play Undertale next month with him, trying to finally get over the last cling of my ex, and only just for him to be the same. Well, I mean, not completely the same. My ex was doing it with a 14-year-old, but still not much better. It changes so much. The trust, the bond you could have made in the future are now ruined. That's the worst part. It's that someone else who's going to be completely innocent is going to have to face a stigma because of someone else they didn't even know. And that's always the worst part. And there's no fixing it, there's no curing it, there's no... It's just living with it. Like I said, he was my other half. And now I don't have it anymore. So I'm halfless. Where he should be at, he's no longer there. And so I'm just limping. Wanting the other half, but I can't. Just don't get how he could be so fucking stupid. I will never understand that. Ugh. Oh my god. And I know I sound like a broken record, but it's why me and Emmy are very closed off to people. You know, it spared you a lot of shit, honestly. Ugh. It was funny though, because of Epic the Musical. I discovered it because of Prince. The first song, Wouldn't You Like? That was the first song I ever heard, and it was through him. And then my brother went through a skim version of the soundtrack with me months later, and we just fell in love with it. And that's how I started listening to it. And one of my favorite songs was Open Arms. And it is... Open Arms! It's, again, just another fucking irony, because it's like... There's a reason why people don't live with open arms. CNM are right, though. I can say is he wasn't thinking at all. This reminds me of a user I had to cut ties with last year. The same user. She was also in a relationship with someone who at the time he literally just turned 18. I don't know. People are just... What it is with... I know, it's because it's the same excuse they always say, is that they were lonely. Okay, then be lonely with someone old over 18. I don't even know. With the way I grew up, I should be, like, hard and cold and stoned, but I'm not. All things considered... I'm a pretty... I know we talked about forgiveness earlier, and I would like to say I'm a pretty forgiving person. And this is another reason why I believe in that philosophy of, like, forgiveness is, like, to... Like I said, like my brother said, that if you really forgive someone, you can trust them. And this is, like, the people... Like, I'm a pretty forgiving person. I won't go into details because it's, again, just silly bullshit that don't mean much. But I have gotten... mad at speed where we snap at each other, and then 20 minutes later it's just like, hey, let's go on VR chat and hang out, and it's like that 5 minutes we yelled at each other didn't matter. I'm a pretty, like, unless you do something really, really, really heinous, I most likely will just let it go, because life is too short to just be constantly mad. And so for shit like this to happen, it's just like, why? Like, I'm not trying to be hateful. I just want to love people. Like, it's horrible that we all have to always have our guard up when meeting people, but this leaves you to question your own people no matter how good their track record is. Yeah. Yeah, but here's the thing, though, is that I wouldn't even say Prince had, like, a clean record. He just... knew how to talk to people where you just didn't really think about things. Because from the beginning, his love life was pretty conflicting. There was... Okay. You know what, fuck it, I'm gonna say it. I'm not gonna say any names, but I will say is that in real, when Prince was doing this TikTok thing, him and 2 users were having this weird content love triangle. And it was these 2 characters that really liked him. Now, the thing was that one of them actually did like him in IRL at the time. They don't anymore, but at the time they did. And we had another person that also was doing this love triangle thing with them. And it was supposed to be for the content, but it was weird because one of them generally had a crush on him. The person was 17 years old, and Starline, this other adult, was letting this love triangle thing happen. And the only reason why that got looked aside was because Prince didn't have feelings for that person. And this happened, like, over a year ago. This was, like, before any of us really knew. I think this was, like, right before he joined the team. But we didn't find this out until much later. But the only reason we let it slide was because I believed Prince. Because Prince said, yeah, it was just for the content. It wasn't serious. I knew they had feelings for me, but I didn't share it. I didn't say anything inappropriate to them. It was just for laughs and giggles. And I believed him. I've also talked to this person, the 17-year-old. They're over 18 now, but I think they're like 18, almost 19 now. They said nothing like that happened. It was just more like in hindsight thing. That was weird. I don't think it matters if you had feelings or not. Doing such a thing is still a no-no. Yeah, you're probably right, and I was probably stupid for letting it slide. The thing is that, though, this wasn't a silent thing. It was a known thing. It was a pretty known thing. Multiple servers knew. And I had said it to people, neutrals. And they were just like, well, I mean, if nothing inappropriate happened, then it's fine then, you know. He knew, Starline, you know, Prince, no, not even, because a lot of people called him Starline, because to us, he was the Starline. It's only now recently where I'm calling him Prince, but it's like, no, it was like, oh, Starline knew what he's doing. He knows not to be, you know, careful. He doesn't have any feelings, you know, it's just content. It's just for the content, which I guess is why I let it slide, because I believed him, and I guess no one else really cared, so it's like, okay, maybe I'm caring too much. Because that felt very, like, I don't know. It was a weird situation when I found out. Because people, like, when I first heard it, I was like, that sounds weird. But everyone was saying, no, you're weird for holding it against the 2 adults. And I'm like, okay. No, not stupid at all. You want to give him a chance and the benefit of the doubt. Which I guess is what I did. But again, it's not like it was a clean record. It's just he was very approachable. He knew what to say. And the way you say it. Okay, I can't expose too much, but it's... I wrote a song, not entirely about... I wrote 2 songs. I wrote a song that was kind of inspired by Mimic, but some of the wording goes along this line of thinking I have right now. Gotta know the things to say of what they really like. Don't matter if you ain't pretty or a sight to be desired by, just as long as you get them to feel like they're always right. And that is a line of the song I wrote. And that is exactly what Prince was good at. Funny enough, though, and Kazma was there. She was there for this. Is that while I'm crying and everyone is like processing it. Because I was in Speed server for a while. And then Kazma messaged me and she's just like, do you want to vent? Do you want to like... Because again, this got so big. It kind of like... It almost sounds deceiving. That's kind of the point. Because servers quickly picked it up on it. People picked up on it. And we're like, oh shit. And so Gazma's like, do you want to vent? Do you want to let out? And I'm like, yeah, so we go on my server. And while I'm crying and stuff, I actually wrote something. In the moment about Prince and how I felt. And I almost am thinking about making it a repraise to the first song that I just said lines about. The one about Mimic. I think I unintentionally wrote a repraise to that. But it was inspired by my feelings about Prince. You were telling me there were signs? Yes and no. Yes, in hindsight, no in the... I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. It's like, the whole thing with the 17-year-old was well known to everyone that knew Starline, like, really well. It's just people just said it wasn't a big deal. It was... I swear, it's not like I'm trying to bring this up. Because I think at the time... Oh. Well, thank you for becoming a member. Thank you so much, Alex. Because I think, like, they were 17. I think at the time, Prince was 18? And then the other person was in their early 20s. So it wasn't so much about him and the 17-year-old. It was more so the other one that was weird. Because again, you're having this minor do this love triangle with an 18-year-old and then someone in like their 21, 22 years old. That was the weird part to me. But people just assumed it was okay. Or people said it was okay and I was making a bigger deal out of it. It's more so in hindsight, things made sense. Because, I mean, again, go on my streams and go back to the last summer. Go to the FNAF streams. Hello, Nerdy. It's, there are signs. His humor was very raunchy. Very sexual. Very... And you have to remember, like, yes, everyone is in those streams were adults. But you also have to remember the context of those FNAF streams. And again, in hindsight, I should never have allowed it. But I did because everyone liked it. But in the moment, we're having two adults essentially do these slight little sexual flirtation jokes. Because Lilith was doing the Rouge in the maid outfit. So he would, like, flirt with her, telling his maid to get him things. Meanwhile, you have an 8-year-old fox just trying to play FNAF. In hindsight... Oh, thank you for the $5. I hope you have an amazing day. Sorry for the interrupting your rant. I wish the best for you. No, you're fine. You're fine. I was in one of your FNAF streams. I vouch he was disgusting. He had a very raunchy humor. In hindsight, I am generally shocked that Gotta Go Fast and Speed got demonetized at one point. Because it should not have been them, it should have been me. If my channel had gotten demonetized during that time, I would have understood. Because why was I allowing that? But I allowed it because you guys really seem to like it and they seem to have fun. So even if I wasn't a big fan of it, I was just like, okay, it's for the content. Which is another thing I need to stop doing, is stop allowing things to happen for the content. So that's probably two biggest changes I'm going to have. Being more stricter of who I let in on the team and what I allow in my own content. And I hate that it took losing my best friend to realize that. Because I was talking to him every day. Every day. VR, I ranted and vent to him. I literally gave the dude $110 to buy him a new microphone when his broke for his streams. And I loved him. And that's the thing, is that I really, truly did love him. And yeah, me and Emmy pretty much had to do that as well. Yeah. And that's the thing, is that I loved him. And it will never be the same without him. Might as well say it. Might as well say it. Good thing, and it just, and I think that's the worst part, is that even if I were to forgive him and just pretend it never happened, it wouldn't even be the same anymore, because it did happen. Maybe, Luffy, maybe. Still think it's bullshit, though. There were some things I've done in this channel I do not know how I got away with. But maybe that's just how irrelevant I am. In all seriousness, though. I guess it really showed you how much I let Prince blind me. Because I let things slide that I should not have. I was letting this dude control my own content at one point. Like, he became the centerpiece of storylines. Streams that I did, that I didn't want to do, but I did because he wanted to do them. Nah, funny. As long as you carry on with the content and do right for you, you are always going to love your content. It's kind of the issues with group projects and being a content creator. And I think that's what I meant, like, maybe I just can't handle it. That's what I meant, is that maybe I just can't handle betrayal, the hits, the bad. Because it's like, let's think about it, like 10 years ago, you had a content creator that was either a rising star or someone who's been on the platform for 10 years get exposed, and it was like once or 2 times, and then you heard nothing else until like the next year or the next 2 years. But now, in this day and age of YouTube, it's happening, and TikTok, like all platforms, it's happening so frequently. It's just like every other month, someone's just being caught. And no fandom is safe from it. No, you're fine. You're fine. And the fandoms that haven't had it, it's because they're very niche and small. That they don't get mainstream enough for them to have that many people to have that. But it does happen. You know, there's no immunity. I mean, even fandoms that were at one point so wholesome had just gotten so big to the point where it just turned into something else. Because fun fact, there was a time that the FNAF fandom was a very wholesome fandom. And then everything fell apart when everyone made that big conspiracy against Scott because he was a Republican. And after that, and then the Dorminimus incident, it just became downstream from there. And honestly, though, I think that's just like... And the Sonic fandom is fucking getting worse with that. I swear. And then we literally had a YouTuber that was exposing people on VR chat, turned out to be a creepo himself. So, wait, blah, 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 blah. Fuck! That's all it is. It's just a bunch of fucking fucks. I think the worst part, though, was just how much I really did love Prince. And I'm gonna miss that. The plans, the what ifs. I mean, because he was there for the FNAF. He was there for when I played He was there for most of Resident Evil Requiem. He was there. He was for the D&D stream. We literally had him, the face of the first stream that Green Lou joined the team. And that whole beginning bit was just a last minute decision we did because Prince was also still new. And he's in Tamagotchi life. I put the fucker in Tamagotchi life. Hey, that's how me and Hypnos met. We did Mario Wonderworld. We never finished the game. But we played a lot of it together. Repo. I bought him Repo. And we played a lot of Repo together. I bought him. I mean, you can get rid of Mii's in Tamagotchi life, but I don't think I'll get rid of Starline because it's not Prince, it's Starline. So I think I can let Tamagotchi. I think Tamagotchi Starline is safe. I'll be nice to him. I won't attach that to Prince. He will be spared the Thanos snapping of Tamagotchi erasing. Yeah, he was there for... Yeah, there were so many plans. There were so many plans I had with him. I bought him Crossworlds. That was my thought. I bought him Crossworlds, Sonic Crossworlds, just so... And I bought it on him. I bought it for him on a Christmas sale just so he can play with the Starline mod. Yeah. Like I said, I'm not going to be fully okay for a while, but I let everything out, I guess, for the most part, and I'm just going to try to continue on and push through everything. Because, I mean, the channel is never going to be the same. It's not going to be the same without him. It's not going to be the same. It really isn't. There was just something that Prince did. There was just something that Prince did that it's just for the good he did, for that one shitty mistake. It can never be the same again. And I still just can't process why. It also just kind of hurts because when you have people, because my ex-boyfriend said the same thing. He said that he was lonely when we were dating, which is why, you know, he cheated on me with a 14-year-old. And it just was just like, okay, so I wasn't enough then. I wasn't enough for you to not be a creep. And I think that's what also hurts. Is that if he did it because he was lonely, then all of us just wasn't good enough. His followers, his friends, his partners, his best friends, his team, the team he was a part of. None of that was enough for you. You were lonely, despite having all of this. And not a damn one of us was good enough for you. That you were so lonely that you had to talk to a 16-year-old. Like, we just weren't good enough for you. You needed more. You needed to be stupid. Yes, Soka Doom, I'm ranting it out now so I don't have to talk about him again. And I think that's just what fucking hits. According to Hypnos, he said he was lonely. That he told her... Well, actually, Prince called her, and basically, they had talked a little bit after everything, and he basically said he was lonely, but then he called her, asking her if she believed in redemption. And she just said, redemption, I believe in redemption. And then he's like, but it's just like, but I don't know if you can get it. I don't know if I believe it for you. You know, I don't. Because I think he pulled a similar thing with Speed, being like, is there, like, because I think he, like, is there ever a chance I could come back? You know, and Speed's like, I don't think so. Most likely not. No. Like, no. That's a line. You fucking cross. And it was just kind of like, I think he asked Hypnos if there was, like, ever, like, a chance for him to be a team or for them to be friends again. He did. Yeah. And it's just like, no. Like, you, like... Letting out my frustration. There are just things that are truly unforgivable. Again, like I said, I am a pretty forgiving person. Speed of all people could tell you I probably forgave too easily, but also that I forgive, that I am pretty forgiving. Any of the people that I was in quarrels with last summer could probably tell you that I forgave too much. Because there is some shit that happened last year that some people said I should not have forgiven people for. And they're probably to an extent right. But it's also like, life's too short to be angry. And it was actually something when me and Speed had shit last year, and then we, like, talked it out and stuff. Me and him were like, we make content about a hedgehog. How can we fuck that up? And we meant that because it was just so much drama. It's just like, we make content about Sonic. How do we be bad at that? Like, how do we suck at just doing that simple thing? And what's the main reason of why we just let shit go? Because it's just like, at the end of the day, we just make stupid, silly little content. It shouldn't be hard. It shouldn't be stressful. It shouldn't be controversial. And by God, it shouldn't lead us to be doing stupid shit like this. It should just be fun. It should be wholesome. It should just be whatever the fuck we want it to be for people that also just want to watch content, you know? And it's just, people like Prince just makes it where it can't just be that. And so, you know, I guess I'm going to harden up a little bit. Again, I'm not going to say names, but someone had asked about being like a certain role on the team, and I'm like, one, you should not ask me that now, considering I just had to cut ties with two bastards. But two, I have to be strict. I have to, you know, hammer things down because I can't be nice anymore. I can't let anyone just in. Even though this is not a professional thing, I have to be professional with it. You're tired of being stalked? I would be too. I would be too. But, I think that's just the thing that hurts the most. Is the realization that they did something because everything they had wasn't good enough for them. It was the same thing with my ex. But, yeah, being lonely is an excuse. It isn't. You're lonely. You had 2 boyfriends. Those weren't enough for you? You go to your friends. You go get help. And that's the real fucked up part, is that he's going to college to be like a therapist, a psychologist. And that was one of the things I did really like about Prince, is that he was really good at calming me down. He was really good at talking to people. Because that's what he was like going to school for. It's what he's going to school for. Bridges can be rebuilt as long as both peeps are willing to work it out. But some bridges get so damaged that rebuilding can't even be an option. Like, can a bridge be fixed with what Prince has done? I see that boys are joined. And that's just the thing. Oh my god, that song. I'm just playing my YouTube playlist so it's not just silence. It's on my Sonic Frontiers cyberspace part of the list. Because I really do like the cyberspace music. But, anyways, that for the most part is my long rant. That's my long rant. I just had to let it out at least once so it doesn't get carry on. Now, I like to say this will be the last time it would be mentioned, but I have to find some way to patch up the storyline in the main channel, which I'm still figuring out. But we'll see what happens. In terms of if we'll ever have a storyline on the channel, I really don't know. Yeah, like when it comes to Prince or anything of that nature, no, I can't. But there are other petty and childish beefs that's happened within this community can be. Yeah, I agree with that. I patched up a lot of bridges last year. Hell, me and Lilith, like I said, we had not talked to each other for the longest time until this whole... I guess for better or worse, if any good came out of this, is that me and Lilith have actually reconciled in a way. I don't know if I would say we're friends again, but we're on finally better terms than what we were since last summer. So I guess there is that. Let Modern Sonic break the news, their storyline wrapped up. I'll think of something. I had to explain to you more about what I mean. It's hard to say it without ruining anything of the main timeline of my channel. But yeah. But I think I need a break from Starline's character for a bit after this. It's funny because I was supposed to be his Sonic. Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of people had projects and stuff. Okay, I won't spoil a lot, but for my audio drama that I'm writing about Knights, I was going to have him be our Wiseman. Yeah, I was going to have Prince be Wiseman. But that's not happening anymore. Yeah, but that's pretty much all those are willing to bridge the bridge back. But I think that was another thing, too, is that Starline was just always there. There was always a Starline. There, here, there. So maybe only a mention should suffice for now. I know Sim can do a Starline. I've heard Loki's Starline. And nothing against them. There was just something about Prince's Starline that just stood out. Something about his Starling was just... He was a good actor! And that's the thing that hurts the most, when Predators are actually fucking talented and you don't know why they would waste it. For real, I'm kind of done with Starline's character right now if he comes back in the IDW's characters. I was really going to show up with a stream with him that day, the day that stuff happened, and that was scary. Or at least put a character on pause until you're ready to bring them back. Yeah, it's funny. I just want to roll my eyes to ignore the issue. I don't blame you. And I think partially there was like a Starline fatigue that our channels have gotten. Because he was just always there. Just always there. The reason why people... It's funny because the reason why people want him back is because he hasn't had anything and for 4-5 years. But the problem is for us, we don't experience that because we had a Starline every damn day. The thing is that I was literally working on there was like a comic dub about Starling that I got permission to do, but he got sick, so Prince never recorded lines. In terms of like the storyline, it's just gonna have to be rewritten, and there's gonna be mentions of him. Whether Starline's character, whether it be this universe or some fucking universe of his, will come back, I don't really know. I don't want to say no fully, but it won't be for a while if he does. I actually did a morbid joke saying how Starline might be my Mighty, because Speed is pretty clear on he will never have a Mighty on his channel again. And I was just like, I think this might be it. I think Starline might be mine. Because of how, like, fucking shitty it all is. And it would be really hard. And you know how hard it is to get everyone's lines. And I was in the middle of editing a Surge and Kid comment with Starline, talking about his plans. And you know how hard it is to get everyone's lines, and I got all the lines. Damn! Are you still going to use it, or are you just going to have someone else do Starline? Because I know Sim did offer you to be Starline if needed. Because if you go through doing if we're doing the comic dubs for the main IDW, someone's going to have to fill in. Yeah, but that's pretty much up to, yeah. Fuck no, I don't even want to upload it anymore. I don't think you should personally, oh, it was for the main IDW. I say if you have Surgeon Kit's line, just have Sim do it. Be the new star line. For that comic dub. I want to let him ruin that. Because that's nothing on the others for that. In my opinion. If you don't, I understand. I just think if you have something, I think you should at least, I don't know, show a tip version of it. Because that's not fair to you. Or to, I'm assuming Saffron and Star did the Surgeon Kid lines. But, maybe I should just take a few months off and upload it down the line. I'll leave that up to you. I'm not going to tell you how to run your channel, but I still say just have someone else do Starline's lines. For me, though, that's where I'm at. Yeah, Sim is the man of 1,000 voices. I'm sure he can do a good Starline voice. Loki can do a decent Starline's voice. The problem isn't replacing him. The problem is just the character being attached to something so hard right now. No, I meant not upload the video or do anything with the character. I can understand what they mean. Oh, okay. I mean, yeah. Fair. So, again, in terms of outside of comic dubs, I don't know what's going to become of the character Starlight outside of just mentions. But regardless, if the character ever comes back, it will never be like it was before, where it was like the face. And I doubt a fan favorite. But it's a confusing situation, Speed. I don't blame you. The whole thing is so messed up. But shit. Oh my gosh. As if shit couldn't get worse. I should have kept a better eye on the time. You're gonna make me take a fucking... Okay, I guess it's gonna be hard, especially after all of that. It is gonna be hard. But I think I'm just gonna wrap up things here. I pretty much said everything I needed to say. And it turns out... You gotta be... do not say that's my car. Oh my god. Oh, thank god. Okay, I thought my car just got crashed. Okay, they're just stuck in traffic. Okay, so I guess I'm either stuck being late or walking to work. Oh, boy! So we're ending the stream off well. Because my hypnosis aunt was borrowing my car, but I guess there was a car accident, so they're stuck in traffic, so I'm either going to be late for work. Actually, no, I am going to be late for work, so I'm either going to have to take an Uber or fucking walk 40 minutes just so I can get some money of pay. Great! I love life! Okay. I gotta make some phone calls so I can still savor a job that I had just gotten. You guys have a wonderful day. Thank you guys for letting me let this shit out. This means a lot. I'm really sorry. Oh, you got your pen. Could you? Oh yeah, you got your Speed ordered like a Switch pen to draw for Tamagotchi Life. I'm glad you got it. Hope it made it work for you. You know, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Like I said, it's gonna be like sucky for a while, but yeah, I'll figure shit out. I'll move on. I got a lot of people that have been here for me. I think a lot of people knew that this hit. It probably hit me. Like it was one of the hard people that it got hit the hardest because so many people were just like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." But I'll be okay. It's just gonna really suck because I know I will never get something like that again. But it'll be okay. It'll be okay. Just take a lesson, people. If any of you guys like take this whole stream as your reason to not do something like that, get help. If you are in a mind where you think you're going to do something like that, get help. Get fucking help. It's not that hard. Because you have nothing to gain and you have so much to lose when you do that. Life lessons with Ann Elders. Don't be a pedophile. But in all seriousness, no. Just get help and think about what you have to lose. Because Prince lost a lot, and he will never get that back. So take that as a lesson. Take that as a fucking lesson. So, we'll be back to our regular schedule program next week. We will, I'm gonna start talking to some, I got some VR videos I'm gonna try to get people to record. I'm gonna start recording episode 5 of Beyond These Frontiers. And I'm gonna continue Tamagotchi Life and hopefully Mouse Detective PI for Hire. So, yeah. So, see you later, guys. Love all of you. Thank you for the follow, W33B, or Weeb over on TikTok. You guys have been amazing. Thank you for just letting me let this out. And, I needed this. And so we're just gonna move on and take a lot of lessons from this. And we'll be okay. We'll be okay. So, yeah. We'll be okay. You know, like I said, we got some, I'm going to talk to Emmy and a few others to get some updated art, and we're going to start completely fresh. We'll be okay. We'll be okay. All right. Love you guys. And as always, and I will promise you, it will be. Till next time. Bye-bye.